Solving equations. Again, this is going to be all just the beginning as review for you. There's really nothing new for solving equations that you didn't do last year in 8th grade. It's starting off with the easy ones. It's just going to be one step using addition, subtraction. Tomorrow it'll be 2-step, and then it's multi-step. Whenever they say the word inverse, everyone know what it means by doing the inverse? Opposite. So inverse operations, if it's plus, you minus. If it's multiply, you divide. If it's square, you square root. That's one thing that's a little bit tougher in algebra, is you do have a little tougher equations to solve. Remember what a linear equation is?
A line.
Straight line, yep. If we graphed it, linear is always straight. Linear means straight line. So, a linear equation has one variable in it. Now, that doesn't mean it can't be listed more than once. Like you could have 2x plus 3 equals 5 times x minus 7. It does have two x's in it, but it's the same letter. Anytime you got an equation with just one letter, even though if it's in there more than once, it can be solved. But if they threw in another letter, then there's many solutions for it. Okay? So we're just doing the linear equations. So the inverse operation, again, here's a very simple one. X plus 9, what do you do to get the x by itself?
Plus.
Or I mean x minus 9?
Add it.
You add it. You just do the inverse operation. Whatever you do to one side, you got to do it to the other side. So negative 9 plus 9 cancels, and you're left with x equals negative 11. Now, some of these you got to simplify before you can solve it. N minus a negative 8. So what can I do to simplify this left side? Change the sign, change the sign. It's just subtract. Two negatives make a positive. So now what do you do to get rid of that 8?
Yeah, subtract.
Subtract. Since it's a plus 8, you minus 8. Minus 8, and then you'd get n equals negative 10. So, again, these are very simple. It's just one step. Like here, it's x plus 7, so to get the x by itself, you do the opposite. You add 7, and you're done. Some of these you got to simplify. Since it's a minus minus, you got to change it to a plus, which means to get rid of the plus 6, you minus 6. Doesn't matter if the letter is on the right or on the left. The y can be on the right. To get rid of the 10, you'd minus, because 10 minus 10 is 0. Whatever you do to one side, do to the other. Here's one like there. Change the sign, change the sign. So to get rid of the 5, you'd minus 5. Z equals 16. This one. So, right. Don't change the sign, because this isn't a parenthesis, this is absolute value. Which means you got to simplify that first. That just turns into 3. So it's m minus 3 equals 14. So to get rid of the minus 3, you add 3. And you get m equals 14. Here's the b. So what do we do to get rid of that? You add 2, because a negative 2 plus 2 makes 0. So you add it to the other side, you get negative 6 equals, now don't forget there's still a negative in front of it. So if negative b is negative 6, what's positive b? Positive 6. Remember, you can do anything to an equation as long as you do it to everything. So if the letter ends up negative, just change the sign, but then that means you also got to change the sign of the other side. Okay?